What is up, ladies and gentle people? It's Lego Builder 4 here, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be building these buttes before you right now, the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, as well as the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons. And then I'm going to be, after I'm done with the speed build, I'm going to combine both those two sets, because you can combine them and make like a really big playboard, and it can apparently be a game as well, which is really cool. Now, I already have and built the Journey to the Skull Dungeons, so you won't see me building that. However, you will see it at the end connected to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons for the overall playboard and whatever. So anyway, let's get into the speed build. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you all in a couple minutes. Alright, you guys, so as you probably noticed, I did not finish doing the speed build with the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set. The reason for that is I messed up, basically. I was trying this new tripod method, because for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, you know I have this Lego built tripod that I use. So I tried using a real tripod for the speed build of the Skull Dungeons castle set, and I messed it up, basically. Not that I messed it up, just the tripod was very hard to work with because it had so much range to see things. It was really hard to do the build without showing my face. I would have to be like this, completely sitting up straight back in my chair, and I would just have to look at the instructions, and of course there just had to be a glare on the instructions, which is why at one point in the video I did try changing the position of the instructions and where the pieces were. That was a bit easier, however it was still difficult to build because I couldn't lean forward to see what I was doing better. And so yeah, the tripod just had so much range, you could easily have seen my face. In fact, it did get my face once, so I actually had to cut that part out and redo it, which was really annoying. So yeah, so that I take full responsibility. That was my bad. I'll try. For now on, I'll just use my Lego tripod, basically. But anyway, I do apologize for that. As for the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon set. That's going to be a separate review, which is why I didn't do the speed build of that. And anyway, yeah, let's just get into the review now. Again, I apologize for not having the complete speed build of that. Alright, you guys, so here it is. The Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set. Now, I can't even get the complete top of this with my tripod because it is a very, very large set. So, we have the majority of it though. We just can't see like the top part. Anyway, so that's that set. Now, to attach the other sets. This set alone is taking up the majority of my desk. So I don't know how it's going to work attaching all the other sets. But anyway, let's try and attach these and see how well that goes. So first of all, I am going to show you how to attach the sets for those that don't know. So for the Journey to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set, you're going to attach it like this. So you're going to unhook that there and bring it out. Then you're going to grab your Skull Sorcerer's, or Journey to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set. Bring it out. And I'm going to take this off the tripod so you can get a better view of this. So for this part, you can see it's got the little place to connect, and you're going to connect it to that right there. So you're going to take that and kind of just hook it on like so. As for the other part over here, as you can see now, it's this side that has the opening, and if I can get the view of it, that the Journey to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons that has the thing to connect it to, and you're just going to connect the two like so. If I can get them to connect, that is. Oh my gosh. This is a lot harder to do with one hand. And there you go. Now it's attached. So, now coming back to here, you can kind of like reposition it if you want. Slide it around whichever way works best for you. Kind of like turn these parts here, bend it, wave the path if you want to. And yeah, that's about it for that part. Now, I have to move, oh, I deattached it. Well, I already showed you guys how to attach it, so I will, now I'm just breaking the set. Okay, so I will be back in a moment to show you how to attach the part that comes with the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon set. Okay, so I have fixed the part of the set that I accidentally broke, reattached the Journey to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons, and now that that's all done, I already showed you how to attach that. I showed you the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set. Now, to attach the part of the sets that you actually get from the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon set. So the first part that you're going to want to connect first is this little thing right here. Now, to try this again, except now I'm going to bring the tripod. So, kind of get a better view. So as you can see, these have the little hooks there in the front, and this little set here has this thing to grab onto that. So you can either attach it like that, or you could attach this to here, because there's not two. Personally, I like to attach it to this one, so that's what I'm going to do. Just connect it like that. You kind of just turn it. And now this part of the set is successfully attached. Now for the other part of the set, give me a moment. Okay, so something fell off. The sword in the set fell off, so I had to go grab that. So anyway, it's this thing right here. So this is going to attach to the rest of the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon set. So you've got the little hook there, and this thing that'll grab onto it. So if I move the camera, I've moved the camera here, you can see if you just put this and attach it like that, they are now connected. Alright, now let's get an overview of the entire shot with everything now connected. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have now connected all 3 parts of the Skull Sorcerer's dungeon sets together, and I don't really know how easy it is to tell with this camera, but, well, through the view of a camera, but this is huge. It is taking up practically my entire desk, and my desk is decently sized. So, if I just can, like, kind of put my hand here, I don't know if that gives a better view of how big this is, but it's big, okay? I have relatively smaller hands than like giants or something like that, so it's a big set, or big sets, being as it's 3 different things you connect together. Now there's actually a 4th set that you could add on to this, but it doesn't connect to anything. It's just kind of like off in the distance here, just standing alone. So I didn't bother getting that set, mainly because I didn't really care about it, and it didn't connect to the overall thing, so I didn't bother to get it because I didn't really care. So originally I was going to show everyone how to play this game, because yes, everyone, once you have connected everything, this big hunk of Lego here can be turned into kind of like a board game, except it's not a board game because it's actually Lego's version of Dungeons and Dragons. The way you play it is just like Dungeons and Dragons. I have never been a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, so sorry to all the Dungeons and Dragons fans. I'm not saying that it's not a good game. Maybe it is. I've only tried playing it once, and I didn't like it, so I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was the fun of it. Like, I get the role-playing thing. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking now. Point is, I didn't like the idea. So, I didn't really, once I found out it was like Dungeons and Dragons, I didn't bother to learn how to play it, and I kind of made up my own set of rules for how to play this game. Now, obviously, there is parts of the game that I kept because it still works. Like, you can take the enemy characters here, like this awakened warrior, and put it on these enemy tiles here, which if I go up here, you can see those tiles that have skulls are enemy tiles. So you place the enemy characters there, and if you land on that tile, you have to fight them. But really, it's up to whatever the game masters, or whatever it's called, decides to do with that. I just made up my own rules and kind of made it like a video game version of Candyland. So, if you guys would like to see my version of, pointing to myself by the way, my version of how to play the game, make sure to tell me in the comments section below, and maybe I'll make a separate video explaining how to play my version of the game if you're not a fan of Dungeons and Dragons either. Now, as for all the characters you get throughout all 3 sets, you get Hero J, and actually not all, and you get these little stands with hearts, which involves the game and how you play. Like, you could die and lose the game, at least the way I play it. So, and this box I use as their inventory. Again, I'm not trying to explain my entire version of it, but I'm just explaining the smaller parts of it. Anyway, the other characters you get are Hero Nia, Hero Lloyd, Hero Zane. I'll actually bring these people closer to the camera. And it's kind of easier to see when it's actually out here. Funny enough. Hero Zane, Hero Cole, and the last 2 heroes of this are Hero Kai, which I'll just put off to the side because you get stands like these stands for 5 of the 7 characters from the amount of sets that I got for this batch of Lego Ninjago. You could get more sets and get more stands for all of the characters, but you know, I obviously didn't. So with how many stands I have, I could play with a maximum of 5 players. Anyway, last but not least, Princess Vanya. Okay, so those are all the heroes. Now time for the bad dudes, bad guys, villains, the opposite of hero. Yeah. So first off, you got the boss of everyone, the guy who created all these awakened warrior skeleton dudes, the Skull Sorcerer himself. He goes up top there, guarding the last sword, which if I can bring up, you can see that sword behind the bones. Yeah, he's guarding that. He's the boss of this entire thing. You get a total of 3 awakened warriors. Sorry, Kai, did not mean to kill you. And I'll just put them on random enemy tiles, I guess, for now. And, again, break part of the set in the process. I'm really good at doing that, apparently. There we go, okay. Then you get this one guy called Ginkles. He's kind of like a goblin, really. I'll just put him in a random spot. Ginkles. He's a fun little dude. And then you get 2 of these trolls called Mort. And one of them goes on that enemy tile because he came with that set. And this one came with the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set. I'll just put him on that enemy tile. And you also get this dice here, which involves... so you kind of like just spin it and you get a certain number of how many spaces you move. There's a good way of spinning this. If I could just get it on camera, that would be great. There we go. You spin it like that. And then it lands on whatever. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Overall, I think it's a really cool idea how you can connect all of these sets, make a really big one, and then make a game out of it. Like, that's just really cool Lego to do. Really good idea. If it just wasn't like Dungeons and Dragons, I would have been a huge fan of it. But you know what? It still works out because I was able to make my own version of it that when I introduced it to my family, they liked it too. So, anyway, if you guys would like to see my version of how to play this game, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. As for now, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. Make sure to subscribe, turn that notification bell on so you know the next time I upload, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now, guys.